Well, first of all, let me say good afternoon to members in the media. I want to start off by saying that we are disappointed that it's now 12:30 in the afternoon. We understand the House has broken for the day, for lunch, and no one from the ABA has come out the front door. So it appears that they're all going out the back door to avoid seeing the members of the Marine Ports Division and, of course, the members of the Bus Operator and Allied Works Division of the BIU. We had that meeting. We had a meeting this morning with them. And as you can see, they are very concerned about the tabled legislation that the minister tabled on Friday. I understand from certain MPs that the legislation has been put off till Friday. So instead of being debated today, it will be debated on Friday. As you can see, the members are very concerned about the legislation, the proposed new legislation, how it's going to take the rights away from them. The right to strike, which is an ILO document that says that a right to strike is a worker's right to do exactly that. When we look at making public transportation an essential service, we don't see the need for that. It's not a matter of life and limb. When you look at the reason why we made all those areas essential back in 1975, whether it was hospital, whether it was docks, whether it was telco, whether it was the Belco, you look at all those services. Those are essential services as relates to life and death situations. This, when we look at public transportation, this is not a life and death situation. So we can't wonder, we're wondering why the LBA government's now decided that they want to make the buses and the ferries an essential service, and marine ports and DPT an essential service. That, when you look at some of the comments that's been made in the paper today, it's a form of union busing, and I'll say this to you, it can't be described as anything else other than that. This is not 1834. We're not going back to slavery. We're not going back on the plantations. It's certainly not going to happen.
Mr. Filbert, the junior minister responsible for Home Affairs has suggested that the government is not seeking to take away the union's right to strike. They're just seeking to have a 21-day notice implemented.
Listen up. Well, Mr. Marino, let me just say this to you, right? When you look at a Lapid doesn't change its spots. What he's trying to do is whittle down the rights the workers have. Because in 1975, that's what it did, you know. When that legislation was passed in 1975 by the United Bermuda Party government, it was to take away workers' rights. So whilst we understand that legislation has been around since 1975, when you look at now this extension of that, it's now a further erosion of workers' rights to make sure the workers will have, let's say, a 21-day cooling off period. Well, if I'm that hot under the collar, why should it take 21 days? Yes, he believes that this 21 days is going to cool, things are going to cool off. He can either refer the matter to arbitration. But remember, legislation is legislation. When somebody's had enough, I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. I don't care what kind of legislation got on the books. When somebody believes that the rights has been trampled upon, I'm not going to remember what's written in the law books when I'm going to make my decision. I'm going to make my decision today, not because it's something that I should think about, whatever. So whilst we do understand the minister's comment, that's going to be his point of view from the government. I don't expect for him to say anything different. But I think what he has to understand is that this is internationally recognized. We intend to report the ABA government to the experts at the ILO for his violation of the workers' right to strike. Anyone else?
Will the workers be returning to work at the end of this?
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
Don't try to stir that one up. Don't try to stir that one up. We already agreed to be back by one.
Any further questions? Say something?
Yeah. Good afternoon. You know, this action by the government is nothing short of union busting. In fact, it was in the 90s, early 90s, that the then Minister, Irvin Perriman, the government then, the UBP/OBA, wanted to put the hotels on the essential services. But Mr. Perriman had the guts and the intelligence enough to know that he had to check with the ILO. And the ILO told him, no, they don't come under essential services. So he made it essential industries. And that's why we have the hotels today under essential industries. As Chris Ferbert said already, 21 days notice is not going to solve anything, you know, because even prior to the 21 days notice, unions sit down and they negotiate. And when workers say we're had enough, Workers just don't drop tools like that. They drop them because we've been meeting for months and months and months. But let me. But hang on. No. I'm trying to wait, sir. He waits for me. Yeah, he waits. But let me say this here.
Stop! Listen!
Let me say this here. You heard Fahey on the TV last night say he consulted with the union. That's rubbish. He did not consult the union, and that's all this government does. They say one thing and does the other. Be careful. Be careful always, right? The union, you must stand up for your rights. And these issues here, you got to take to your feet because they're trying to privatize you. They're trying to cause unemployment with the workers, right? Attack those people that are responsible. You know, we can't take this no longer, right? This is 2014. This is not 1962, right? But we can go back to 65 if you want to. We can go back to 81 or we can go back to 91.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's where I leave you. Thank you.
I'm here to listen. I would like to listen.
Hold on, let me speak.
I've said from day one that we are here to collaborate. I want to find out what the real issues are as far as the collaboration and the due process is concerned. So I need to hear what's going on. So I have not spoken to.
Stop and listen, everybody. Listen. Show respect.
And so I'm looking for Mr. Ferbert to come to me.
Brothers and sisters, listen up, everybody, listen up. Listen up, come on. Let's have some respect, right? Thank you. The Prime Minister's talking. Let's hear what it's got to say first, and then if we want to make whatever comment we want after that, that's fine. But let's do it respectfully, okay? Let's do it respectfully.
Okay. Yeah, let me just assure everyone that is here, this is not about taking away anyone's jobs. We have already committed that we would not be taking anyone's jobs away from them. We have made that commitment. I have said it over and over. We are not looking to have anyone lose their jobs. What we are looking for is a collective responsibility to the people of Bermuda. And if we can find a way to collectively be responsible, then that is the way that we need to go. Now, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me get to the point. It is vitally important that as we look at essential services concerning these departments, that to the people of Bermuda we be responsible. To the young kids and to the seniors who are catching the buses and the ferries, that we, listen to me, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. There has to be a limit, and what we want is a responsible way of being able to say if there is a need and we have a disagreement and that we are going to put down our tools, that we give the people of Bermuda a responsible time to be able to do that and not overnight. That's what we're looking for. So let me finish. 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 I need to finish. Let me finish first. Let me finish. You need to let me finish. Listen. I'm trying to finish so you can have something to say. And so we're looking for a way forward for everyone. This is not for any special interest group or to leave anyone out. This is about all of us moving forward with this thing. And so I will be speaking to the Minister Fay, about this concern, and then we will go from there. But I do need to hear what the concerns are. But I take exception to the fact that the deputy of the opposition leader will say that this is about losing jobs and we're looking to take away jobs. That is not the case. No one has lost their jobs. No one has lost their jobs. So listen, President.
It's about
Listen up, please. Listen. Listen up. Well, Mr. Premier, today our concerns is not about mutualization. It's not about outsourcing. It's not about privatization. We are here today about the bill that was tabled in the House of Assembly on Friday that's going to make marine imports and DPT and part of the essential services, all essential, which means that the ferries now will become essential service. Yes. All the buses will become an essential service. We're concerned about that because we believe that's taken away workers' rights as relates to the right to strike, the right to withdraw the labor because they're not satisfied with something that's taking place. And that has to be the international right to do that. Yes. That's my labor that we're talking about. I should have a right to don my tools because I'm not satisfied with something that somebody's done to me. You can't take that right away from me. If you take that right away from me, it looks like we're going back to slavery. It looks like we're going backwards. So if we can sit down, listen. If we can sit down and have a conversation, and whilst I don't disagree, that maybe there could be another, and I'm not totally saying that we can't have a conversation about something that needs to happen and the time for it needs to happen here, but we can't guarantee you that every time if we tell you it's going to take 24 hours or 40 hours, it's going to happen. Under normal circumstances, maybe it can. But if something happens out of the ordinary, then it's going to happen immediately. And it can't happen no other way. Why? Because when something happens, like happened the other day where the employer violates the agreement and we told them they violated the agreement, I don't know of any union in the world that Don Tools as the deputy shadow leader said a few moments ago, I don't know any organization that says, you know what, we're striking today just for the sake of striking. Right. We've been around the bargaining table for a week, a month, 3 months, or 6 months. We had enough, so now we decided to take progressive industrial action. That's the way how all unions operate. That's the way how the BIU operates. No different. So when the minister talks about that we've had dialogue, we've had 3 conversations, maybe 4, about making public transportation an essential service in the last 4 months or 5 months. And every time the minister has came with that approach, the BIU says, I'm not sure that's the correct way to go. The last time we spoke to him, he said maybe we can consider making public transportation an essential industry as opposed to essential service. The minister did say in the paper today that he also talked to the LAC. LAC did give him no commitment whatsoever about whether he can go ahead and put legislation forward to make public transportation an essential service. Now, if I was in the meeting, I didn't hear a green light. So now if the minister decided that he's going to do something, I would have thought, reach out to the stakeholders. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's the way. Not 2 days before, because I got an email from Ms. PS on Wednesday to say that the bill was going to be before the House on Friday. 2 days notice? No. So when we talk about dialogue, we have no problem with sitting down having dialogue about moving the country forward and making sure that we are all stakeholders, critical stakeholders, without being disrespected. I think that what I've said, I will continue to say. The OBE is the government today. Nobody is trying to take that away. You are the government. We have to respect that you're the government today. But you simply cannot disrespect the workers of this country by saying you're going to take away their rights to do whatever they want to do. You can't do that.
Okay. Thank you. I've heard it. We'll go from here.